New this morning, police say at least 5 people were detained during this protest near the Federal Building in downtown LA. Police say they told around 60 demonstrators to disperse around 10 last night.
And this would be that Federal Building. Now, I don't think people realize in downtown Los Angeles at this Federal Building, we are still seeing more and more clashes that end up just like this. So here's where things are getting interesting. This area of Los Angeles is starting to heat up, not only for federal agents, but also for the local police.
Okay, we want everybody over there.
Why?
Because
why can't I be over?
By lieutenant, so
okay,
over there.
Bring your lieutenant over here.
I'm not
no, you're violating the restraining order.
So as you can see, we got a lot going on here. Now, before we start the video, make sure you please like the video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, but it also helps others see the videos as well. I also have a very free newsletter. You can sign up for it by going to the link in my description, go to the pinned comment, or you can use the QR code. I update you guys every single day on stories just like this. Absolutely free. Make sure to please sign up. Okay, so what the heck is going on? I want to give you guys some context. Just a few months ago, I think you guys remember, we had the National Guard here, we had the Marines, and we had a ton of protesters on this federal building. Well, nothing has really changed other than the volume of protesters. People are still protesting at this federal building, and it's still getting pretty violent.
And that's when some of them allegedly clashed with officers. At least 2 were detained on suspicion of battery on a police officer. This came after a day of Labor Day protests held in different cities all across SoCal.
Now, here's where things are getting interesting. The federal agents, they're not the only ones facing protesters. It's also the local police. And for some reason, the local police, they always get left out of these news stories. So you really have to do some deep digging to find videos just like this. Again, these are not ICE agents. These are not federal agents. This is the local police. And by the way, many people don't realize this interaction right here is exactly why the Trump administration will be sending in more Border Patrol agents into Los Angeles. I'll show you that clip in a second. But first, I want to explain. Local police, they are working with federal agents in this area. But I thought when it comes to sanctuary policies, they're not supposed to be working with federal agents when it comes to deportations, and these protesters are protesting ICE agents. You can see why there's a lot of confusion and how these sanctuary cities, they're creating an environment where protesters are now protesting the police. And again, Border Patrol, federal agents, they know they're going to be protested. But if the local police can't figure it out and they're being protested by their own protesters, more federal agents have no choice but to flood the streets of Los Angeles and to support either riot control or support with these deportation efforts. Let's continue.
Choke on that shit, bitch. So deep down your throat. So deep down your throat. What his blowhole tastes like. You every your worst nightmare. You're your worst nightmare, bitch. A bunch of women holding your ass accountable. You can't fucking say we're built different.
Okay, so on my channel, we see this a lot more in Portland, but it does happen in Los Angeles as well. We're seeing it in the clip we're about to watch. Basically, you have protesters who are isolating or singling out agents who are pretty identifiable. Maybe they're a little heavier set, maybe they have an identifiable mustache, maybe they're not even covered up, and oftentimes protesters will try to single them out, try to get a reaction, and then they will post them all over the internet.
We're not afraid of you. Come through. Pull up. Last night.
Fucking weirdo.
He always smiles like a demon. This other one filmed me last night on the clock.
Fucking weirdo.
They're not people. They're domestic terrorists.
Look at you. How what a embarrassment you must be to your family. How is that for you? Knowing that your face. That's why we need to get a real special look on your face so your parents can know what embarrassment you are.
Here for some money for your ancestors. There's no amount of money, and when you die, you're gonna have to pay for the consequences of your actions. And you're not gonna say Donald
Just
Trump
because you go to
said.
church on Sunday doesn't mean that you're gonna go to heaven, dude.
So as you can see, this is some pretty brutal stuff. You're being told you're not going to go to heaven. I mean, you can go to church, but you're not going to go to heaven. Your ancestors, what are they going to think about you? Your family, look at the way you look. This is what these federal agents are going through. So remember I told you even some journalists are having problems with the LA Police Department? Well, one of those journalists, they are Film the Police LA, if you want to go follow him on X. And again, it's Film the Police LA on X or on TikTok.
Does not have to go.
Yes, you do.
No, the press has to leave.
Sergeant.
Okay, no, bring your sergeant over here because you must not know about. Do you want me to read the temporary restraining order to you? Because the temporary restraining order says that press is exempt. Well, you don't have to talk to me anymore. Who's the sergeant? Get the sergeant over here.
Our sergeant wants to go. In a second.
Get the sergeant over here. You can arrest me then. You're gonna violate the restraining order, then do it.
Okay, so the restraining order he's talking about protects journalists. If you are a journalist, whether conservative or Democrat, doesn't matter, you are allowed to film the protesters and you won't be arrested, you won't have any munitions used against you. That is straight from the chief of police. However, there's so much confusion going on in downtown Los Angeles because at the same time, the local police have also been instructed you need to make sure the area is clear and that the federal agents will not be obstructed. There are so many policies going on right now in Los Angeles, I have no idea how these police officers even know what they're supposed to be doing at this point.
Do it.
Let's go over there.
No. The press is exempt from the restraint.
No, they're not right
Yes,
now.
they are.
Okay, well, go over there. Behind the tape, you can film all you want.
I'm not.
It's okay. We want everybody over there.
Why?
Because
Why can't I be over there?
By a lieutenant. So
Okay,
go over there.
bring your lieutenant
No,
over here.
I'm not gonna
You're
bring him.
violating. You're violating the
You want
restraining
to get
order.
pushed?
You can push
All right,
me.
all right,
Violate
let's
the
go.
restraining
Everybody-
order. Go ahead.
Everybody go across behind the tape.
Why? You're violating the restraining
Let's
order.
go. It doesn't matter right now.
The restraining order
Let's go
doesn't
right
matter
now.
right now. No, you're gonna push me. Go ahead, push me then. Dispersal order does not include press.
And look, again, I don't align politically with Film the Police LA, but he's absolutely correct. This is the standard that Los Angeles has created. If you are a journalist, you're allowed to be here. So this is why we are getting these counter-protesters against the police. But really, it goes beyond them. It also has to do with the mayor of Los Angeles and these sanctuary policies where there's so much confusion in these policies. Even at the very bottom, these police officers are trying to navigate all of this. But again, Film the Police LA, I looked into it. He's allowed to be here.
Do you want me to read it to you? You guys just got the email this week. You guys, you didn't get the email? Then your chief lied. Then your chief lied because I know Karan sent it out to you guys. No, I am not leaving right here.
Okay, you're gonna get arrested, sir.
I'm going to get arrested for what?
For being here after the special order was given.
I have my press pass
I
on.
understand you're the
press
press.
is
You
exempt
gotta
from
go
the
over there.
dispersal order.
Not today.
Not
Tomorrow,
today.
You're going to go
What's
behind
your
the
serial
tape.
number?
Go behind the
What's your
tape.
serial
Go
number?
behind the tape.
What's your
Let's go.
serial number? Why don't you have it on your helmet? What's your serial number?
Let's go.
What's your serial
Let's go
number?
over there.
What's your
Let's
serial
go.
number?
I'll tell you over there.
No,
Let's
no,
go.
I'm not. Push me. Go ahead.
You can stay, but you gotta be on that
No,
side.
I do not have to.
You can stay, but you
I
gotta
do
be on
not
that
have to
side.
do that.
You've already been
You
given
guys
an
do not.
order.
What's your serial
go.
number?
Let's go
What's
over
your
there.
serial
Let's
number?
go.
I'm not moving. There's no reason to move. You guys have no idea what you're talking about. Go, Gross, where? Huh? Let me. Why do I have to move from here? He's telling me that I am not exempt from the restraining order. You guys don't know your restraining order. No. Bring your lieutenant over here. I don't care. You guys don't know the restraining order.
And by the way, all the way down the road, these are where the protests are. So I think he's just trying to film what's going on down the road. Now, again, I do want to mention, I want to make it very clear, I don't align politically with Film the Police LA. Generally speaking, I am usually on the police side when it comes to just trying to make sure everyone is safe. But the reason why this video is so important is because it highlights how many policies and rules these police officers have to follow. I'm supposed to be helping out the federal agents, but under a a sanctuary policy, I'm not supposed to be working with the federal agents when it comes to deportations, but the agents that we're protecting are ICE agents who do deportations. You can see why the Trump administration's like, you know what, we're gonna handle it. We're just going to send in a ton more federal agents if you guys can't figure it out in Los Angeles, which is why Gavin Newsom is really trying to push his officers throughout all of California to try and crack down on crime to limit the amount of federal agents that will be coming to California.
I am exempt from the restraining order. Members of the press, you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I don't want to go with you. I don't have to.
You're absolutely right.
I'm right.
Here with us as media.
Thank you. What's his serial number? Because he refuses to give it to me.
He's gonna stay here?
Yes, I'm allowed to. You guys don't even know you don't even know a restraining order.
I got it.
What's his serial number? I want your serial number. No, I want it right now. He's walking away. He's right here. He refused to ID. I want his shit. And if you don't give it to me, I'm gonna write your shit up too.
And just a side note, when I was doing research on Film the Police LA, I don't think he's a fan of Karen Bass. Here's a post from June 12th. Karen Bass is the most performative mayor in LA history. This is all for the cameras. You scroll down some more. Bass will never miss a goofy photo opportunity. I don't think he's a fan of her, so I'm just throwing that out there. Now again, like I mentioned before at the beginning of my video, these protests, they're still happening despite the National Guard not being there, the Marines having way more of a federal presence. We're still seeing more and more clips just like this, and this is the fastest way you could be arrested, but I also think it's the fastest way where the Trump administration, they're gonna start collecting these clips, analyze the data, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see the National Guard once again in the area.
Scumbag! You nasty scumbag! You nasty scumbag! Please!
Yeah, so like every other protest we cover on this channel, specifically around these federal agents, if you ever get in the way of vehicles trying to come into a federal building or vehicles try to leave a federal building, especially during these shift changes, if this is where protesters are the most vulnerable to be arrested and vice versa, which is why we're starting to see this outcry or yelling at these federal agents to return the person who was just arrested.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
And again, theoretically speaking, a lot of these people could be detained or arrested for, again, trying to press up and touch the federal property. These agents really try not to do that. They only reserve for anyone to be detained or arrested if you assault the federal agents one-on-one or you don't get out of the way of vehicles. And by the way, this is why the local police have to help out the federal agents. The more and more these protesters get in the way of these federal agents, that's another check mark for the Trump administration that, hey, just so you know, a resident in Los Angeles assaulted our federal agents who are trying to do these deportation operations or other federal operations. We don't know who's inside of this van, and neither do the protesters. It could be the worst of the worst, and these protesters are getting in the way of the van. But the point I'm really trying to make here is that it's actually better for the local police to cooperate and make sure these protesters get out of the way. Otherwise, Karen Bass, Gavin Newsom, they will be getting phone calls asking, hey, why are all of these protesters trying to obstruct federal operations when we caught so-and-so? Not so much just an illegal immigrant, but maybe an illegal immigrant who was involved in some sort of crime ring. It's happened before. It's even happened with politicians where they didn't know the full backstory story, but they stuck their necks out and said, yeah, I don't like deportations and I'm going to support so-and-so, and that so-and-so had a pretty bad backstory. So again, overall speaking, a lot of this is very political, but it's also to protect the federal agents and to protect the protesters. Alright, and that's the video. If you guys haven't already, make sure to please leave your comments down below how you feel about all of this. Make sure to please sign up for my very free newsletter. You can use the QR code, the links in my description, or the pinned comment where we talk about stories like this every single day. Thank you guys so much for being here. God bless, and we'll see you all later. Real quick, my disclaimer, we don't encourage the violence. We don't want the violence. The literal reason why I started making these videos is to help educate people in sanctuary cities that you are being misled. The local police, they can work with the federal agents, and if they just cooperated together, we would have less of this violence and the protesters would be more educated in what they're actually protesting, and federal agents would also be more protected as far as not getting attacked. That is why I started making these videos, and it somehow led to this point where it's happening every single day. So we're going to continue to educate. We're going to continue to pray for peace. That's what we want on my channel, and I thank you guys for everything. God bless again, and we'll see you all later.